Your eyes are gonna bug out of your head because we don't want to be marked as adult content. We cannot wait to share with you one of our best hikes ever. He struggled to get that out. I really love that even in Newfoundland, we can hit up some really cool harvest hosts.
Yeah, today we're at the North Atlantic Aviation Museum here in Gander, Newfoundland.
And we're tucked in right beside some old airplanes. There is a lot of history here and a huge story that we cannot wait to share with you.
We might even give you a little sneak peek on the way in.
All right, let's talk about Gander, Newfoundland, and what we learned about Gander that we didn't even know. And I'm so embarrassed to know we didn't know this piece of history about 9/11.
Yeah, 20 plus years later, we're hearing from locals about how Gander kind of stepped up to the plate and took in a lot of incoming planes. I think there were 38 that Gander took in.
Yeah, and they called them plane people.
Right, the plane people, because they were coming from all different countries. There were language barriers, there were cultural differences. But the thing that stood out is that there were almost 7,000 plane people that arrived in Gander, which almost equaled the number of residents that lived in Gander. So It was amazing to hear the story.
Yeah, and we did a little research, and yes, Canada absorbed so many of our planes when they closed the airspaces down in the U.S. They took on about 239 planes. They let them land in Canada, and that was about 33,000 passengers that were stranded all over Canada. But the story of Gander has been published, not just in a book, but also in a play that was on Broadway, and it is amazing. And if you haven't seen it, I'm telling you, you got to see it.
Yeah, I'm not much of a theater guy or a play kind of guy. This held my attention.
I know, shocking, right? It's not football, but Phil still watched.
But they had singing, dancing, comedy. There was just entertaining for almost 2 hours. And to hear how the town of Gander rallied around each other. And they had issues going on in Gander at the time, but they put those differences aside. They came together for the greater good of everybody in there. So it just kind of, it restores faith in humanity. Is
100%.
What it amounts to. Yeah, so you got to check it out.
And 9/11, of course, we know the anniversary is coming up. So this is a great time to sit back and reflect and think about everything that happened. And this is a good way to do it. You can find this play, and it's called Come From Away.
Come From Away.
I believe it's on Apple TV.
Yes.
You may be able to find it a few other places, but we highly recommend it. If you go to Newfoundland, stop into the airport. It does have some of the people that the play was written about. So all the characters in the play are real people. All of the stuff really happened. So you'll see a little history of all these people and, tell Gander thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just truly an amazing story that, like Stacy said, it's embarrassing that we didn't know about this.
Yeah, we're pulling out of our harvest host to go all the way about 2 miles down the road to Wally World. So we're going to overnight again in a parking lot while I get some work done. That was probably one of our shortest commutes in forever. You can see we've traded one parking lot for another parking lot. The benefit here is we can do some grocery shopping, which we are due for. We are packing it up from Walmart and headed to our next campground. And you can see we have not been alone here at Walmart. This Walmart is actually pretty busy with RVs and overnights and even some car camping. So we are headed out to our next campground, and you're not going to believe what campground we're going to. You're going to want to watch this because your eyes are going to bug out of your head.
On a grand adventure, I'm along for the ride, and I feel it all again for the very first time. On a grand adventure with you by my side, 'cause I love to see
I know you were dying to know where we were going next. Can you believe it's here?
That's right. You guess why we're not saying it.
And
But
this is actually a provincial park, which means it's a Canadian, like a state park.
for obvious reasons, we had to come here and check it out. And the name looks as funny as it sounds. So I know you're saying it out loud in your head. Yes, that's exactly how you pronounce it.
So we're going to refrain from saying it because we don't want to be marked as adult content.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, it is not a big deal in this area.
No.
Not only that, there's a brewery, there's a town. It's more than just the park. So we're going to get out of the sun, and then I will let you know a little bit of the history and why this park picked up this crazy name.
Now let's talk about the different meanings of the word that you saw on the sign, because we can't really talk about the meaning that y'all are thinking about in your head right now. So the second meaning of that word is a term used to lock oars to a boat back in the wooden sailing days, back when the Vikings sailed ships.
The province of Newfoundland, most of their income was from fishing. So they're old fishing towns. So that is why not only is this campground called that, there's also a town and a brewery. And of course, we are avoiding saying it again because we don't want to be striked on YouTube as adult content.
And I gotta warn you, be careful if you go to look that up on the internet, because whoo, it comes up with certain phrases and images that little ones might not want to be seeing over your shoulder.
I don't even want to see,
Yeah.
so don't type that in
Yeah.
unless you're very careful.
Yeah, take our word for it. Made it to Twillingate, Newfoundland. It's a quaint seaside village, and it was a nice drive in.
He struggled to get that out. All right, let's talk to you a little bit about Twillingate and why we added this to our list while we're here in Newfoundland. And the number one reason is, Phil,
We were trying to find icebergs. The icebergs, as you can see, there's none behind us, and there's none anywhere out here. We're looking on a map. We're looking on a Facebook page where they're supposed to be spotting them, and they're all where we are not. So we're in the wrong spot.
so Twillingate is known as the iceberg capital of the world. Of course, there was an iceberg spotted here 2 days before our arrival and almost every day before that.
Yeah, and apparently the one that was here a couple days ago has drifted back out to sea. So, yeah, that's our kind of luck. But
So there are more things in Twillingate
Yes.
to see than just icebergs. So one of the top 10 hikes in all of Canada is here, and it's right by a lighthouse, and we're going to take you there tomorrow. So a few things to know about Twillingate is it is another small town, as most of them are here in Newfoundland.
yes, I said a quaint seaside village. Yep, we got
There's
that.
about 2,000 people who live in this town, and the biggest form of economy for them, mainly us. Tourism is their biggest form of income, so they love it when people come into their city, as most of Newfoundland does. They're very friendly, very generous people that we've met so far. You don't even stop them, they stop you and offer to help with directions or information or have you seen this or have you been here? So it's been really nice to meet and talk to people throughout Newfoundland since
Well,
we've
that's
been here.
because we kind of look lost at times, so they're obviously stopping to see if we need help.
Well,
But-
the Texas tags also is another reason. They know we're not from here.
And the minute we open our mouth. But there are a ton of cars coming up and down the road here, in and out of Twillingate. There's a tour bus that just passed us a bit ago. So this is a destination stop for people that are coming to
Yes.
Newfoundland.
Now, it is an island. It's connected by a bridge to get over here. But I got to tell you, the drive to Twillingate is one of my favorites so far, other than the national park. It was just beautiful. We were beside the water almost the entire drive.
Looking out, the morning air is waiting for us now. Calling to the space between the clouds. There's something beautiful in the quiet we have found.
We just came around the corner and discovered why this is ranked as one of the top 10 hikes in Canada. This view is amazing.
We will go as far as our feet can take us. Heaven knows the world that we will find.
The views do not get any better than this. And to top it all off, Phil found some whales. We're whale watching now. This is a great hike. Our goal, if we can make it, is to get over here. So it's a little bit of a hike. It looks like a lot of stairs, but I think we're up for it. We keep stopping our hike because the views are so awesome. We just want to stop and check out what's in front of us. We just found the campground. Look behind me. Imagine waking up to this every morning. Oh.
Come alive. Every flower opens in due time. Every season falling into light. In the mystery, there's reason for design. And there's something beautiful. We will go as far as our feet can take us. Heaven knows the world that we will find. We'll paint the open sky, illuminate the night. You and I.
So we've been hiking for about just over a mile now, but we have yet to have our real workout. So if you'll see up that hill right there, it looks like, I don't know, maybe 100 stairs. We'll see, but that's going to be the real workout. And as you can tell by how high it is, probably the best view.
Where we belong, we belong. Where we belong, we belong.
We will go as far as our feet can take us. Heaven knows the world that we will find. We'll paint the open sky, illuminate the night. You and
I think this might be actually one of our best hikes ever. This hike is definitely a moderate hike. And you're going to want some good hiking shoes, not flip-flops like I typically wear because it's very gravelly and you will slip and slide.
Yep, she's got on her tennis shoes today. Better grippage for sure. But it is, man, this is, the views at every corner are just spectacular. I think that's my word for the day. Spectacular. It's just,
Awesome, inspiring,
Yeah.
amazing. I don't know how many adjectives we can come up with, but a plethora of them.
ooh, there's a big word.
Now, if you can't do a hike this strenuous, there are some smaller trails around the lighthouse that also offer spectacular views and also some lookouts if you don't want to do a trail at all.
You gotta do one of them, do any of them. Just come to the lighthouse.
Yes. I recommend that you come here early because when there's not a lot of tourist things to do in the area, they're all going to flock to the same place.
And they have flocked. When we got here, I think we were the third car in the parking lot. There was
Yeah.
nobody else here. Now it's full, and there's a tour bus.
We are packing it up, getting ready to leave Twillingate, and unfortunately, there were no icebergs for us to see.
Yeah, we're about, I think, a week, maybe 10 days too late, according to the locals up in Twillingate. So
They recommend for the best opportunity the beginning of June. So
Yeah.
after that, seeing it in July is pretty rare. But they said they were lucky to get icebergs this year in July. So
and they're all around the area, just not where we're at.
if you're wanting to come here to see the icebergs, Twillingate is one of the places to stay, and so is St. Anthony's, which is the very first corner
Yeah.
that the icebergs will hit on the way down. If you're thinking about coming to Newfoundland, Stay tuned because I'm going to create a guide that is going to walk you through everything you need to know about Newfoundland, how to get here, where to stay, what to see. So keep watching for that. I'm hoping to have that out soon. So I'm really going to help you guys see how wonderful it is here and how I wish everybody could see what we've seen.
Yeah, and we're not here long enough to see it all, that's for sure.
So that wraps up our Newfoundland footage. Our whole series is complete. Make sure you check the link down below if you've missed a couple in the series. I'll put the playlist link for you. And next up,
Nova Scotia, you'll want to come back for that one. Lots to see and do there.
We are dreamers of